So this is where we are right now. If you've been a TMNT fan for years and years and years, here's your new show to watch. Or you can also read this book if you want. It'll be available on Amazon September 1st. Just in time for you to put it in your backpack and take it to school. After your mommy packs your lunch, because clearly this is the main core audience for this franchise. Now, I'm not saying this show and this book shouldn't exist. I think it's fine that there's something for very young audiences. Even though when I was the target age for a show like this, I was watching this. And then a few years later, I watched this. And then we got it on video, and it was playing at my house 24/7. And in later years, when I was getting into my teens, this turned into this, and then TMNT almost didn't survive. Our heroes went dormant for a while. Those of us who were that first generation of children growing up on Ninja Turtles, we were squeaking into our 20s when the 2003 series came out. It wasn't kidified, it wasn't aged down for the next younger generation. It was for both us, the OG fans, and the new fans. Sure, it was family-friendly enough for Saturday mornings, but it was gritty and dark at times. It took on heavier subject matters, and it had far better writing than any of the other Turtle series before it. As someone who has been a part of the TMNT online fandom since the internet was bestowed to mankind, I would have to say the 2003 era was the best time for TMNT fans. We were having the time of our lives. The show was good, new toys were out, people were discovering and rediscovering their love for this franchise. And then Nickelodeon bought it, and the show went from this to this. The writing got worse, the colors got brighter, and it was being aged down and dumbed down. Then we got the CG TMNT series in 2012, and it was aged even younger. April and Casey were no longer adults. They were teens too. The Turtles look younger than they've ever looked. It was clear that Nickelodeon was done with the older fans. They had always skewed young with their programming, and they were going to cater to their usual age demographic. And I'm not even saying that the 2012 series was bad, but it was aimed at a younger audience, and it felt like it was. And there was even this dinosaur movie that no one remembers that they snuck in for even younger audiences. At this time, we did get the Bayverse movies, which was a little darker, had a little bit more of a mature feel. But believe it or not, the Bayverse movies were the most mature we've ever had since. When the 2012 series finally ran its course, Rise of the TMNT came out. With this one, I do feel like we leveled out a little. Yes, it was still geared towards kids, but there was a heavy comedy aspect of this particular show that seemed to hit for all ages. It wasn't just little kid humor. Anyone of any age could laugh at this show. And then we got the movie, which felt broadly more mature in nature. It featured two of the turtles in their 40s, and we got some heavier, scarier visuals with this movie that I think was even too mature for very young kids. Me, as an adult going into the 2020s, I was still quite happy with the direction Ninja Turtle media was going, even if it was still tipping young. But then Mutant Mayhem happened. This universe skewed the youngest we've had so far. This is where my anxiety for the franchise started. This is where I felt we were going in a direction where we possibly couldn't turn back. It was weird, but it was fun. It was fine. But I did feel more like I was watching a kid movie instead of like a family fun for all ages type of movie. And then we got Tales of the TMNT TV show, and it felt like we were getting younger still. This show, the writing was genuinely bad. At least the first season. I haven't seen the second one. I've heard it's better. It looks better, but this first season, it was bad. Like the same kind of bad we got from those later seasons of the OG cartoon. There was this feeling of, oh, like little kids are only going to be watching this. We don't have to try too hard type of bad. You know what I mean? At this time, honestly, this is the most unwelcome I have felt by the franchise as an adult fan. I'm really starting to feel like, where's my show? Where's the media for my generation? I'm the one that's been loyal to this franchise since the beginning. Like, where's the media for us? Sometimes it feels like they work really hard to create a new generation of fans, and then when they have those fans and the fans are like, hey, we love this, what's next? The franchise is like, nothing for you, bye, bitch. The modern IDW run is still pretty satisfying for adult Ninja Turtle fans, and it feels like they're catering to all generations. We did have the last Ronin comic series, which did feel skewed more towards adults, and did very well accordingly because guess what? Adult Ninja Turtle fans exist, and we want content. But then, of course, Skydance bought Paramount, and they took that away from us. Honestly, I got so excited when Skydance came into the picture. I legit thought they were going to save TMNT, and they were going to stop making it skew so young because we wouldn't have this Nickelodeon influence anymore. But no, they went a step further. They give us this preschool show. They took away our rated R movie, and now they're trying to give us this new live action one made by the Sonic the Hedgehog guy, which, like, I guess I'll wait and see with that one. It could be alright. The Sonic movies weren't necessarily good, but they were fun. And I'd say the same thing with the Bayverse movies. They're not the best movies ever made, but they're fun. Those movies are still fun. I still enjoy watching them. So maybe with this live action series that's coming up, we'll get something better than Mutant Mayhem or Teeny Mutant Turtles. But as a lifelong fan of this franchise, I feel very unseen right now. Maybe that sounds a little egocentric. Why should I be important to the franchise owners? Why should my generation and the other adult generations be considered when making any decisions in the future of TMNT? And I have one big reason. Money. Bro, I have money for turtles. In fact, I'm going to work tomorrow and I'm going to make even more money that I will happily spend on turtles. So why am I not being considered? Why don't they want my money? Again, I don't mind that there are turtle projects coming out for the next generation of fans, but why can't we have something too? Animation for older viewers is not only common these days, but it's popular. Why can't TMNT have the next equivalent of the 2003 series? Or even their own version of shows like Harley Quinn or Invincible? People would watch it. I dare even say people want it. And holy crap, guys, I want it desperately. I want an animated series with good stories that aren't catered to young kids. Hell, I started my own TMNT webcomic because I was so frustrated with the kids-only direction the franchise was going. I was thinking one day, okay, every day, I was thinking every day, man, I really wish they were coming out with an animated series that was geared towards older fans. And then, since I put my money where my mouth is, my brain is like, okay, smart guy, if you had to make an animated series for older fans, what would it be about? And I didn't have any ideas, so for a while I shut up. And then one day, I was driving home from work and I had an idea. So I did it. You can check it out on Webtoons if you want. It's just kind of a hobby for me, but right now it's all I have. Skydance, hire me. Let me pitch you something for the fans with money and the fans that love this franchise. This entire movement came from a comic series meant for adult readers. It started with blood and murder and a profound message of generational trauma. And for some reason, the people who keep getting a hold of this franchise look at it and say, no, this needs to be for younger kids. I am baffled over and over again. The kids the first show was made for are still here, and we still want turtles. We've grown past the cartoons. We've read the stories for the older audiences. We bought the comics. We paid for collector items. We got action figures. We have statues priced for those with adult money. But nobody wants to give the adult fans an animated series? Why not? And I really don't have an answer for this. I don't even have a real conclusion for this video. It's very possible the thing that I want will never happen, and I'm going to pine for a kick-ass adult animated series for the rest of my life. So I guess I'm turning it to you guys now. Do you agree? Are you happy with what we have? Are you happy with the TMNT media that just keeps getting targeted to younger and younger audiences? Or do you feel the way that I do? If I own TMNT tomorrow, I know what I would do with it. What would you do? Now I have to clean this mess.